Hey, what's up, you guys? Okay, so today we will be talking about past lives as well as reincarnation. So, my name is O'Shea, as well. You can call me Atanu for that's my magical name. And this is Cult Cat TV, the channel you know you love. So, with that, you guys, let's just get into the video. What are past lives for those of you that wish to understand, for those of you that wish to know? So, before we get into past lives, let me tell you a little bit about myself so you can at least understand who you're getting this from. So, I've been on the spiritual awakening journey for about 8 years now. About 5 years ago, about 5 years ago, I entered into what's known as the Cliff-Oth. And through this journey, uh, the Cliff-Oth is the Hell Realms. It strips away all the illusions that are no longer serving you. And it's in this way that I started to work with. First, it was Lord Thoth. And Thoth led me to Horus. And at the same time, I was also working with Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva, and as well Lord Ganesh. And I felt very close to these energies. Shiva, to some, even being considered an aspect of Lucifer. Also, I can feel an Ahriman presence, but still different beings. So, are different masks of, we could say, the same current of energy. And that's actually what I want to turn your attention to is deific masks, because I think that deific masks are what describe or help us to better understand reincarnation. Because reincarnation it's not just a human thing, it's not just a physical thing, but actually reincarnation, what it's souls reincarnate, right? Just like how when we enter into the human body, we are entering as a soul into a vehicle, into a vessel of ascension. That's what the body is. Your body will actually start to adapt and as well evolve to your soul's potential, to shape your soul, because the body is merely rented. We choose to incarnate into this realm, into the bloodline that we chose, the family, the heritage, because it had the exact maybe wantings, situations, scenarios, experiences that our soul would take on, that it would embrace. Maybe if we were royalty in a past life, or we had a really good lifetime, we might actually then incarnate as just gonna get some water, as a peasant, right? We'd incarnate as someone that didn't have wealth so that we could understand the experience, because that's what life is. It's about experiences. It's not just what you want, which when we do wake up, we realize that at any moment, at any point, we can evolve. We can choose to understand universal laws, understand magic, understand manifestation, and as well the occult. And as we understand these things, we are liberating ourselves. We are liberating ourselves. Now, it's this liberation that we are seeking as a soul, as we are in this physical plane of existence. What we are living in is a soul simulation. And, well, kind of like a video game. And I'll make a video on that as well, describing that more in depth. I also talk about that very heavily on my channel and as well live streams. Because we live in a quantum simulation, a light illusion, but then we are dark matter beings. At our core, the soul is dark matter. That's why the dark matter, or you could even say dark mother, these energies in which we emanate from, that as we incarnate, we are taking on light illusions. And it's this illusory realm that, just because I say illusory doesn't mean it's not real. It's much like the ego, which is also a embodiment or physical embodiment within our minds from this vessel of the 3D realm. This is why our egos, or as well why we have the collect consciousness. You could say that the ego is what connects and taps people in to the collect consciousness. And the ego is, you could say, that part of us that tries to make us all the same. Whereas when we incarnate, we are all our own individuation of the source. So as we choose to incarnate and take on our own fragment, as we are our own fragment that chose to incarnate, it's that fragment of source that has chosen to reincarnate time after time after time, body after body after body, to then get to who you are now. That's why when we are walking the path of magic, whether the polarity be right or left-hand path, we start to uncover our truths. Even the word satanama in Sanskrit, meaning endless truths. Now, a lot of people have bastardized the word Satan, but merely Satan actually is the same Sanskrit energy and being, this deific force of endless evolution, of endless truths. That's why when a lot of people are Christians or right-hand path, and they're walking the path of the right RHP, when they dabble or they look at the left-hand path, they're not understanding the immense truths of the soul that could be gained from working with the night side tree, from working with the realm of death. Because there's balance to the tree. There's balance to magic, just as there's balance to yourself. That when we're only looking at one aspect of the dualistic whole, then you're negating something. If you're only looking at the light, you're rejecting the shadow. If you're only looking at the shadow, you're rejecting the light. Now this can be bad on both sides, and that's why it's true union, not separation, understanding duality so that we can collapse the wave function of duality. And from collapsing the wave function, that's when we end the cycle of reincarnation, which it's not just from one ritual or one meditation that this will happen. No, it's more of an induction process, pulling yourself out or being pulled out of the matrix, where then you walk the path long enough, embracing your truths. It's not really a length, but more an understanding. That once you understand and know thyself, that's how you will enter into your pure, divine, endless, as well as cosmic truths. For that is why we play this game. That is why we incarnate. It is to incarnate, go about the path of not knowing, to go through that unknowing, what is happening, I don't know what's happening, to go through the unknowing in order to then find ourselves. But we had to forget who we are in order to find ourselves, or rather uncover ourselves. And this is the path of reincarnation. And it's the moment that we start to know who we are, know thyself, what was truly inscribed on every, I believe it was like almost every temple in Egypt, know thyself. Because those that knew Those that built those temples were reminding everyone around them to know thyself. If someone didn't know who they are, they're almost like an NPC. They're just being like a bag drug in the wind, just blowing in the wind. And that's why it's powerful to know thyself and to understand who we are in our path of reincarnation. I will also be later on in future videos, I'll be talking about watchers and reincarnated watchers, because a watcher has the most difficulty when it comes to reincarnating. They can forget themselves the easiest because they are the most powerful. They are very powerful beings, and the more powerful you are, most likely the more you chose to learn in this life. And that's also why a lot of powerful people will incarnate into the worst family matters, the worst family structures. And it's good to know and understand that we're the black sheep. We're the ones that incarnated not to get to know everybody, but to know ourselves. So it doesn't matter, who you grew up with, right? It doesn't matter who your parents are, or what they did to you, or what happened to them, or who they were. Truly, you're the one that has incarnated to liberate this vessel, and then through liberating this vessel, through liberating yourself, unlocking your mind, knowing thyself, you will master your mind, thus mastering this vessel, also ending the cycle of reincarnation for yourself, as well as ending your generational trauma. And for most people, that's actually why we go through a lot of this struggle in the beginning, is because one, we don't know ourselves. Two, we get caught up in our generational karma. We get caught up in what our family did or what happened to them, right? Our parents always saying, "Oh, we don't have enough money," or this or that. All this programming. That why you reincarnated was to go through that, yes, but it was not so you would fall to it, so that you would evolve from it and become an even greater version of yourself. And that's why we walk this path. That's why we don't do what everyone else does or did, but instead we are the way showers. We are meant to pave our own way. We are meant to pave our own path, to embrace our destiny and know who we are. Because you can't be limited to the finite constructs of what society thinks, or what your mom thinks, or what your friends think. Because you are a being that has chosen to bypass, or rather reincarnate over and over and over again. And now you've had friends in past lives. And most likely we incarnate in soul families. So the people that you are around, they might have been, they're probably a part of your soul family, or maybe they're not. But in a sense, if you can feel a connection but they're not awake, that's because you're there to wake them up. But the thing is, at some point we then have to go about our own path, our own hero's journey. And it's in the same way that the hero's journey has the crossing of the abyss. So for myself, it wasn't until I crossed the abyss within the Qliphoth that I started to rather understand all of my past lives. I started to go into my past lives, and I had more of a full cognizant awareness of them. Whereas now I can go into them, I can channel them, I can write from their perspectives and understand that lifetime and that which I lived. Why someone would do this is to awaken old abilities that they already had. This is where I get a lot of my channeling from, a lot of my mediumship, and just self-mastery and gnosis. On top of that, it's also, me doing the work in this lifetime. I had to do the work to uncover the past lives and then also integrate them. So yeah, with that, you guys, I think that's gonna be the video for past lives and reincarnation. Again, my name is O'Shea, and as well, you can call me Atanu, for this is Occult Cat TV, the channel you know you love. And with that, you guys, for anybody that is trying to understand past lives and integrating them, because it can be actually a very vicious process, because you have your past lives and then you have this life, and then things are kind of merging. And when you don't understand this process, it can be very taxing on the psyche. I actually had a past life mentor, past life regression mentor and coach, that as he did past lives for me, he'd always like type it out. He also taught me it. And that's partially where I learned it from, as well as being able to uncover my own past lives. I learned how to do this for other people. So if you would like a past life integration session, this is something that I offer in a form of consultation. And as well, if you want a past life regression session, I also offer past life regressions. And this would be in a either 1 to 2 hour video call, where then I'd be putting you into hypnosis so that we could then call forward this past life as you trance. And as we're doing this, I'm also either, if you want, recording the interaction, like voice recording, or I can type down all the things that you're saying so that when you come back out of that trance, knowing who you are and the journey that you went through, sometimes we can be kind of foggy. We're like remembering it and it's clear, but it's also good to have those notes for later on when you want to reflect and look back, as well as meditate on this past life, because that's what you should do. Getting a past life regression session, I highly recommend that, because I'll be giving you, rather, you're channeling and uncovering things, but you also are given this typed document that you can go back to and start to just meditate on and get a lot of visions from. So yeah. Other than that, you guys, I will also have a full past life guided meditation that I filmed, I recorded, and that will be going on the Patreon as well later today. So this is, again, past life and reincarnation. If you guys need my services, consultations down below, as well I do fate and destiny tarot card readings, and as well ritual and spell work professionally. I've been a professional ceremonial magician for over 5 years now, working with many different spirits, Hecate, Lucifer, Belial, Astarte, and as well specifically the Egyptian pantheon. So if any of that piques your interest, feel free to email me, just even asking questions, a business inquiry. Feel free to email me at occultcattv@gmail.com. Again, that is occultcattv@gmail.com. I also have a website, occultcattv.store, and as well you can DM me on Instagram. Feel free to add me on Instagram, you guys. A lot of insightful, inspirational, and as well empowering and motivational posts, especially on the occult, magic, witchcraft, and so much more. So with that, you guys, peace, and as well, namaste from I, myself, Atanu, here at the temple, as well as from Thoth and Hecate, as well Horus. So the Egyptian pantheon, they are with you, guiding you through your initiations for some, your trials for others, and helping you to align with your past lives, and as well learn and know magic. And with that, you guys, know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know who you are, what you're meant to achieve, and who you're meant to be. With that, you guys, embrace your destiny. I bid you farewell. I bid you adieu. Have a good one, you guys. Peace.